After the age of 40, bones begin to silently lose density. No pain, no swelling, no clear symptoms. And because it happens so quietly, many people only realize it when it's already too late. Just a slight slip or a minor bump can lead to fractures, spinal compression, or being bedridden. Many people who were once healthy can no longer walk on their own or live independently after just one fall. What's concerning is that osteoporosis doesn't spare anyone, whether male or female, and it's becoming more common at a younger age, often starting just after 40. Yet most of us overlook it, thinking weak bones and joints are just a part of getting old. The truth is, if not detected early and properly managed, osteoporosis will silently progress and lead to a serious decline in overall health, both physically and mentally. So how can we recognize the warning signs our bodies are giving us? In the next part, I'll share the early signs of osteoporosis that you can start noticing today. If you know what to look for, backhand index pointing right. If you're over 40, don't leave the video. The next few minutes might completely change the way you care for your bones. Sign 1, persistent back pain, an early warning of osteoporosis. Do you often experience a dull, persistent pain in your lower or mid-back, even when you haven't lifted anything heavy or suffered an obvious injury? If so, don't ignore it. This could be an early and silent sign of osteoporosis that many people overlook. Osteoporosis is often called the silent thief of the body. It quietly weakens your bones day by day without causing sharp or intense pain like other conditions. But it does send out warning signs, and one of the earliest is that persistent, dull back pain. So why does bone loss cause back pain? Imagine your spine like a stack of bricks. Each vertebra is a brick that supports your body, helps you stand upright, and allows everyday movement. When your bones are strong, those bricks can handle pressure well. But as osteoporosis sets in, the vertebrae gradually lose bone density, becoming more porous, weaker, and prone to tiny compressions, often without you even noticing. These microcompressions don't cause immediate fractures, but they lead to dull, lingering pain in the back. This is especially true in the lower back, lumbar region, or mid-back, thoracic spine, areas that bear much of your body's weight. The pain often worsens after long periods of sitting, standing, or even light lifting. Many people describe it as a feeling of back fatigue, heaviness, or tightness, and resting doesn't provide much relief. What's dangerous is that this type of pain isn't sharp, acute, or intense. That makes it easy to ignore or mistake for something else like poor posture, tiredness, or mild degeneration. In fact, many people simply assume it's just age catching up. But the truth is, if you're over 40, especially if you're a postmenopausal woman, this is exactly the time when osteoporosis begins to progress rapidly. A sharp drop in estrogen accelerates bone loss significantly compared to when you were younger. And that gentle, persistent backache might be your bone's first way of speaking up. Back pain caused by osteoporosis tend to have some specific traits. It's dull, long-lasting, and not intense, but bothersome throughout the day. It worsens with prolonged sitting, standing, bending, or twisting. The pain is diffuse, usually in the mid or lower back, without a clear point of origin. It doesn't completely go away with rest, and pain relievers only offer temporary relief. It may be accompanied by other signs, such as slight height loss, a stooped posture, or feelings of muscle weakness. Many people don't even know they have vertebral compression until an X-ray or bone density scan reveals it. By then, they may have lost 2 to 4 centimeters of height, despite never having had a major fracture. Don't wait until a bone breaks to take action. Start paying attention to the subtle signs, like that persistent back pain you've had for months. So what should you do if you suspect your back pain is due to osteoporosis? First, don't take it lightly. If you're over 40, especially if you're a woman and you had lingering, unexplained back pain, go get a bone density test using a DEXA scan. It's a standard, painless, and accurate method to assess bone loss. Second, start taking care of your bones early. Supplement with calcium and vitamin D properly, and stay active with suitable exercises like walking, yoga, or swimming. These habits help slow bone loss. Lastly, don't forget your daily posture matters too. Avoid sitting still for too long. Change positions while working and don't bend abruptly. These simple adjustments can reduce strain on your spine and protect your back in the long term. Listen to your body. Back pain isn't just fatigue. Sometimes it's your bones speaking up. Early detection and early intervention are the best ways to protect your health and avoid serious complications like vertebral collapse or fractures later on. Are you experiencing similar symptoms? Feel free to share in the comments. Sign 2: gradual height loss over time. A silent warning of osteoporosis. Have you ever noticed that you're getting a little shorter as time goes by? Maybe you stood in front of the mirror and tried to straighten your posture, or you compared your height with your child and thought, wait, wasn't I taller before? Or perhaps you put on an old jacket and noticed the sleeves seem slightly longer than they used to. All these little things could be signs that you're slowly losing height, and the reason might be your spine compressing due to osteoporosis. It may sound serious, and it is, but the process happens very quietly. What's even more concerning is that many people don't realize they're shrinking until someone points it out, often a family member or close friend. So, why does osteoporosis make you shorter? The main cause is that osteoporosis makes the vertebrae in your spine porous, weaker, and gradually compressed. Your spine is made up of about 33 vertebrae, including 24 major ones in the neck, mid-back, and lower back. As bone density in these vertebrae decreases, each one may compress a few millimeters without causing any sharp pain. 1 or 2 compressed vertebrae won't be noticeable, but over time, as more of them collapse slightly, you could lose 2 to 5 centimeters, about 1 to 2 inches, in height without realizing it. A study found that people over 50, especially postmenopausal women, can lose an average of 1 to 1.5 centimeters in height every 10 years if preventive steps aren't taken. And in more advanced cases of osteoporosis, the rate of height loss can double. Some people don't notice the height change itself, but start seeing other clues. Their posture slouches more than before, their clothes don't fit the shoulders properly, or the top of their head seems closer to the doorframe. Biologically, this height loss is caused by minor, repeated compression of the vertebrae, gradually shortening the spine. In more severe cases, the uneven compression of multiple vertebrae can curve the spine forward, commonly seen as a hunchback in older adults. But this can happen as early as middle age if bone density is dropping too quickly. So, how can you tell if you're shrinking in height? The simplest way is to recall your height when you were younger. It may be recorded on old IDs, medical records, or even in family photos. Then, measure your current height using a proper measuring tape, preferably in the morning when your spine hasn't been compressed by a full day of activity. If you've lost more than 2 centimeters compared to your previous height, and you're also experiencing back aches, a stooped posture, or mild spinal discomfort, it may be time to consider osteoporosis as a likely cause. And remember, height loss isn't just a cosmetic concern. It's a structural red flag that your spine may be unstable. If not addressed early, it can lead to serious risks like spinal fractures, vertebral collapse, or even disability. So what should we do? First, get a bone density test, DEXA scan. This is currently the most accurate way to detect osteoporosis. If you don't have access to it right away, start by tracking your height every 6 months, especially if you're a woman over 45 or a man over 60. Next, take steps to protect and restore your bone density. Supplement with calcium and vitamin D. As recommended by your doctor, engage in regular light physical activity like walking, yoga, or swimming to maintain muscle strength and bone health. Avoid prolonged sitting or slouch posture. Keep your spine upright while working and resting. Sleep on a firm mattress to prevent your spine from curving during sleep. And don't forget the role of nutrition. A diet rich in calcium, milk, tofu, leafy greens, along with protein and magnesium, helps nourish your bones daily. In conclusion, height loss over time isn't just a normal part of aging, as many believe. It's a clear sign of spinal bone loss and a warning that deserves attention. If detected early, you can slow down or even stop the progression of osteoporosis and protect your height, posture, and overall joint health. So pay attention to every centimeter lost, because sometimes that's your bones trying to speak to you before it's too late. Backhand index pointing right if you found this helpful. Share it with loved ones, especially parents and grandparents. Sign 3, fragile bones from light impact. When your bones become brittle without you realizing. Have you ever seen someone trip slightly, only to end up with a broken arm or a cracked hip? Or maybe someone just landed on their bottom after a light fall, yet had to be in a cast for a month? It may sound serious, but these situations are becoming increasingly common among middle-aged and older adults, and the main culprit is osteoporosis. One of the clearest and most dangerous signs of osteoporosis is bones breaking from even the lightest bumps or falls. Imagine healthy bones as being like bamboo, flexible, strong, and resilient. But osteoporotic bones? They're more like dry twigs, hollow, brittle, and likely to snap from even a small impact. Some people slip in the bathroom or miss a step on the stairs, and suddenly they're dealing with a fractured wrist, a cracked hip, or worse, a spinal fracture. The scary part is, many bone fractures don't come from big accidents. They can happen from something as simple as turning too quickly, carrying something too heavy, or just slipping slightly. That's what makes osteoporosis so dangerous. It doesn't cause intense pain beforehand. It doesn't give big warning signs. It quietly weakens your bones until they can't handle everyday stress, and by then, the damage is done. This mostly affects postmenopausal women, adults over 60, and anyone who is underweight, inactive, or has long-term calcium deficiency. So how can you tell if your bones are getting too fragile? One of the best indicators is reviewing any recent minor injuries. Have you experienced a light fall that led to a fracture, bone crack, or long-lasting pain? A diagnosed bone break without a clear cause? Frequent bone pain after regular activities like lifting or bending. These might be signs your bones are already significantly weakened. Also, pay attention to how long it takes your body to heal. If even a small bone crack takes ages to recover, or you're still in pain long after being in a cast, your bones may no longer be repairing themselves effectively. And here's something important. Even if you've never broken a bone, you could still be at high risk if your bone density is dangerously low. If you're over 50 and have at least one of these risk factors: family history of fractures, smoking or heavy alcohol use, lack of physical activity, poor diet low in calcium and vitamin D, long-term use of corticosteroids. Don't wait for a fracture to go get checked. A fracture from osteoporosis isn't just a matter of wearing a cast and healing. For older adults, a broken hip or spine can lead to disability, being bedridden, or even death. One study in Vietnam found that nearly 20% of people over 70 who suffer a hip fracture die within 1 year if not treated properly. That sounds scary, but the good news is you can prevent it. Here's what you should do immediately if you suspect your bones are getting brittle. White heavy checkmark, get a bone density test. DEXA scan. This is the most accurate way to know your bone health. It takes just a few minutes. White heavy checkmark, take calcium plus vitamin D the right way. Don't self-prescribe. Talk to a doctor or nutritionist for safe, effective guidance. White heavy checkmark, exercise smartly. Low-impact weight-bearing exercises like walking, stair climbing, or yoga help your bones maintain strength. White heavy checkmark, prevent falls. Don't underestimate home safety. Use non-slip mats in bathrooms. Wear shoes with good grip and clear clutter. One slip could change your life. White heavy checkmark, follow up regularly. If you've had a fracture before, check your bone density every 1 to 2 years to track your progress. Final thought. Strong bones aren't a matter of luck. They're the result of proper care. A fracture from osteoporosis is a late-stage warning, but if you started noticing how easy you're hurt from small bumps, take it as a wake-up call to take action now, before it's too late. Backhand index pointing right if you found this information helpful. Share it with your loved ones, especially your parents and grandparents. Sign 4, muscle weakness and slight shaking in limbs. The silent effect of osteoporosis on your entire body. Have you ever felt your arms or legs becoming weaker, even though you haven't done any heavy work? Climbing a few stairs makes your knees tired. Standing for a while makes your legs shaky, or even just raising your arm feels less steady than before. If you think it's just temporary fatigue, you might be overlooking a deeper issue. Muscle loss caused by osteoporosis. It may sound strange. What do bones have to do with muscles? In fact, bones and muscles are an inseparable duo. Bones are the framework, and muscles are the pulling ropes. If the frame weakens, the muscles that attach to will weaken too, in both strength and movement control. Here's something many people don't know. Osteoporosis doesn't just make bones brittle, it also accelerates muscle loss. In medical terms, this is called sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle, often linked to declining bone health. As bone density drops, your body structure begins to change, leading to poor posture, reduced mobility, and a shrinking of muscle size and function. You might start to notice weakness in your arms when lifting objects, like a rice pot or frying pan, slight tremors in your hands when carrying things, or a shaky grip, legs tiring quickly on stairs or shortness of breath, feeling unsteady or unsure when walking, like you might lose your balance, difficulty standing up from a squat. At first, you might think, maybe I've just been inactive lately, or it's just age. But keep in mind, when muscle weakness comes with trembling, poor balance, and movement control issues, it's a red flag. Your body is losing strength overall, and osteoporosis could be a root cause. Why do muscles weaken when bones lose density? Muscles attach to bones. If bones become porous and weak, muscles can't function efficiently and begin to shrink. Vitamin D and calcium deficiency, these don't just affect bones. They're also critical for nerve signals and muscle function. Fear of falling causes people to move less. Less movement means faster muscle loss, making falls even more likely. It's a dangerous cycle. The consequences? Higher risk of falls. Weak muscles can't maintain good balance. Higher risk of fractures if you do fall, because your bones are brittle. Reduced independence. Tasks like dressing, cleaning, or grocery shopping become difficult. Loss of confidence in social situations, leading to isolation and even depression. It may sound serious, but the good news is muscle weakness can be reversed if caught early and managed properly. Here are 5 things you can start doing today. White heavy checkmark, do strength building exercises. No need for a gym. Just 15 to 30 minutes a day with light dumbbells, resistance bands, squats, or gentle push-ups is enough. White heavy checkmark, increase protein in your diet. Muscles need building blocks. Eat lean meats, fish, eggs, beans, or dairy to support muscle recovery. White heavy checkmark, get 10 to 15 minutes of morning sunlight daily. This helps your body naturally produce vitamin D, crucial for both muscle and bone health. White heavy checkmark, stay physically active. Gardening, housework, walking around the house. All of it helps keep your muscles engaged. White heavy checkmark, get regular checkups and bone density tests. If your bones are already weak and you don't know it, exercise won't be as effective. And one last thing, don't ignore shaky hands or weak legs, especially if it happens often. For older adults, a single misstep can lead to a fall, a fracture, and a long, difficult recovery. Pay attention to the little changes in your body. Sometimes, a trembling hand or unsteady step is your body's gentle way of saying, it's time to take your bone and joint health seriously. Sign 5, brittle nails, excessive hair loss. When your body whispers that calcium is low and bones are weakening. Have you noticed your nails becoming more brittle, breaking or splitting easily, and growing slower than before? Or maybe your hair is falling out in clumps, so much so that even a gentle touch causes shedding. And no matter what products you try, it doesn't seem to improve? You might think it's because of harsh shampoo, unsuitable hair products, or simply just aging. But in reality, these could be early external warning signs that your bones are weakening on the inside. Sounds strange? Here's the connection. Both nails and hair are made of keratin, a protein that depends on your overall health, especially your calcium and vitamin D levels. And here's the key point. If your body is lacking calcium, magnesium, or vitamin D, the 3 essential nutrients for strong bones, your nails and hair are often the first to show it. Think of it like this. Your body is incredibly smart. When it doesn't have enough calcium to support vital functions, it prioritizes organs like the heart, muscles, and brain, and cuts back on less vital areas like hair, nails, and skin. The result? Thinning hair, weak nails, dry skin. But the deeper issue is, your bones may be getting depleted to supply calcium to more important systems. Many people think, If my hair is falling out, I'll just take biotin. Or my nails are weak, I'll use nail strengthener. But if you're eating well, sleeping well, and still experiencing unexplained hair loss and nail breakage, it may be time to consider a hidden cause: mineral deficiencies affecting your bones. This is especially true for women over 40, as estrogen declines during perimenopause. Your body's ability to retain calcium also drops. That's why changes in hair and nails often happen before you ever feel back pain, knee soreness, or suffer fractures. See if any of these signs sound familiar. Nails that peel, split, or break easily with light pressure. Hair that's dry, brittle, or sheds heavily when shampooing or brushing. Sensitive scalp, sometimes even sore hair roots. Slower hair growth or thinning at the crown or temples. Slow nail growth, nails changing shape, wavy edges, slight dents. If you're experiencing 2 or more of these signs, consider checking your calcium, vitamin D, and mineral levels. You could be in the early stages of osteoporosis, and these visible signs might be your best opportunity to act early. So how can you fix it? White heavy checkmark, get a blood test to check your vitamin D, calcium, and magnesium levels. This is a simple but crucial first step. If you're deficient, follow your doctor's guidance for supplements. White heavy checkmark supplement calcium the right way. Always combine with vitamin D3 and K2 for better absorption. Don't overuse calcium pills without proper medical advice. White heavy checkmark, eat a bone-friendly diet. Add more dairy, small fish eaten whole, dark leafy greens, nuts, and legumes. These don't just help your bones, but also improve hair and nails from the inside. White heavy checkmark, limit calcium loss. Cut back on coffee, alcohol, and carbonated drinks. They quietly drain calcium from your system. White heavy checkmark, get morning sunlight daily. Just 10 to 15 minutes helps your body naturally produce vitamin D. For free and highly effective. White heavy checkmark, nourish from within. Instead of relying solely on serums and conditioners, support your body with essential nutrients so your hair and nails grow strong alongside your bones. Don't wait until a fracture forces you to take bone health seriously. Don't assume that only back pain or a hunched posture means osteoporosis. Pay attention to the smaller signs, like hair loss and brittle nails. They're your body's gentle way of saying your bones are starting to slip. Backhand index pointing right, do these signs sound familiar to you? Feel free to drop a comment below to share or ask questions. Sign 6, nighttime cramps, tingling hands and feet, when your bones are borrowing minerals from muscles and nerves. Have you ever been jolted awake at night by a painful leg cramp, your calf suddenly stiff, throbbing like someone's pulling it tight? Or maybe you felt tingling in your fingertips or a pins and needles sensation in your feet after sitting too long or sleeping in the wrong position. You might think it's just poor circulation or I didn't move enough today. But in fact, these could be the final warning signs of silently progressing osteoporosis. Muscle cramps, numbness, tingling. These aren't always just nerve or circulation issues. Sometimes they start from deep within, when bones begin losing their mineral balance. Did you know? Over 99% of your body's calcium is stored in your bones. When calcium in your blood drops, even slightly, your body pulls it from the bones to keep critical systems like your heart, muscles, and nerves functioning properly. At first, you won't feel a thing. But over time, chronic calcium depletion starts to disrupt your neuromuscular system, leading to nighttime cramps in the calves, feet, or even thighs, tingling or crawling sensations in hands or feet, especially after staying in one position too long, fatigue or slight tremors in arms or legs after extended activity, increased anxiety, restlessness, or insomnia. The troubling part is, many people mistake these symptoms for circulation problems or just aging, so they try massage, topical balms, or muscle relaxants, treating the symptom, but not the root cause: mineral loss and bone weakening. Besides calcium, 2 other minerals, magnesium and potassium, are crucial for nerve and muscle function. Low magnesium makes muscles more prone to sudden spasms. Low potassium weakens nerve signaling. All 3 are essential for healthy bones, and as we age or eat poorly, deficiencies become more common, triggering more frequent cramps and tingling. Here's how to check yourself. Do any of these sound familiar? You get cramps at least 2 to 3 times per week, especially at night or when stretching your legs. Your hands tingle or go numb when holding your phone for a while or right after waking up. Your feet sometimes feel numb or you have to shake your limbs to get the blood flowing. You're often irritable, anxious, or having trouble sleeping. If yes, don't ignore it. These could be your body's last alert before serious bone problems arise, like hip fractures or spinal compression. What should you do? White heavy checkmark replenish essential minerals, not just calcium, also magnesium, potassium, vitamin D, and K2 to ensure the minerals go where they belong, into bones, not soft tissues. White heavy checkmark eat magnesium and potassium-rich foods. Dark leafy greens, spinach, kale, cashews, bananas, black beans, almonds, salmon, and avocado. White heavy checkmark avoid mineral-draining foods. Coffee, alcohol, sodas, and fast food can all deplete your body's mineral reserves. White heavy checkmark do light evening exercises. Stretch your legs, rotate your ankles, or practice light meditation before bed. This relaxes muscles and helps distribute minerals. White heavy checkmark stay hydrated. Even mild dehydration can trigger cramps. Drink water consistently throughout the day, especially if you exercise or sweat a lot. White heavy checkmark get a bone density scan if symptoms persist for more than 2 weeks. A quick DEXA scan can reveal bone loss before fracture happens. And most importantly, osteoporosis doesn't cause pain right away. It progresses quietly, day by day. Cramps, tingling, and tremors are your body's final warning sirens before damage sets in. Listen closely. Don't ignore that one cramp in the middle of the night. Sometimes a small change today can be the reason you avoid a fracture or loss of mobility tomorrow. Osteoporosis doesn't happen overnight. It begins with very small changes like dull back pain, height loss, nighttime leg cramps. But if you pay attention early, it's completely possible to manage and slow down bone loss. Here's some advice for you. Backhand index pointing right if you notice one or more of the signs we discussed in this video. Be proactive. Get a bone density test or see a doctor early, especially if you're over 40. Backhand index pointing right, don't wait until a fracture happens to start taking care of your bones. By then, full recovery will be much harder. You can start with some very simple steps. Droplet stay hydrated. Leafy green eat foods rich in calcium and vitamin D. Woman walking, do gentle physical activity every day. Sun, get 10 to 15 minutes of morning sunlight. This channel will continue to share easy-to-understand, practical tips for bone and spine health without relying on medication, especially for middle-aged and older adults. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on simple but effective health tips. See you in the next video.